In this video, we will talk about scaling ratios. So scaling is actually, in this video, we'll talk about scaling to find equivalent ratios. So scaling is actually the process of multiplying or dividing each quantity but in a ratio by the same number to obtain equivalent ratios. So we have an example here of how we're going to scale forward, and that means that we're going to multiply to obtain a larger equivalent ratio. So a class project asked Alvin and Sam to pair up and go out to their community and gather 8 surveys for every 3 interviews they obtained. How many total surveys and interviews will 6 students, including Alvin and Sam, have gathered altogether? So we know that we're starting out with 2 students and they are getting 8 surveys and 3 interviews. So that ratio is 8 to 3. All right. And we're jumping straight to 6 students. So the question is, how do we scale from 2 to 6? Remember, we're using multiplication, so we can multiply by 3. And so if we're going to multiply 2 by 3 to get 6, we multiply 8 by 3 to get 24, and we multiply 3 by 3 to get 9. So our new ratio is 24 to 9. Okay. Now we're going to scale backwards, and that means to divide to get a smaller equivalent ratio. So Tim saw a bed of flowers and wanted to pick some for his mom. He assumed that for every 20 purple flowers he saw, there were probably 15 yellow flowers. So he picked his flowers using the same ratio. If Tim picked 4 flowers, how many yellow flowers did he pick? All right, so 20 purple in the field, 15 yellow in the field. He picked 4. How many yellow flowers did he pick? Well, let's scale backwards or scale down. We can divide by a number, and whatever we divide by 20, whatever we divide 20 by, we have to also make sure we can, no, what can we divide 20 by? We can divide 20 by, sorry, what can we divide 20 by to get 4? We divide 20 by 5 to get 4. So we divide 15 by 5 and we get 3. So Tim picked his flowers, 4 purple to 3 yellow. All right, so now we're going to work on scaling backwards and forwards at the same time. And this is important and helpful when we don't have a whole number to multiply or divide by. So we start out again with the flowers, 20 purple, 15 yellow. And here we're trying to find a ratio that matches up with 16 based on the 20 to 15 ratio that we are starting with. So, however, we can't see a whole number that we can do 16 multiplied by to get 20. There's no number that exists to do that. So what we can do is scale back first. We want to get that, we want to fill in that blank, but we have to pass 16 and then come back. So here, what we divide or scale down by for 20, we also have to scale down using the same number for 15. So we see that 5 is a factor of both 20 and 15. So we can divide by that number. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And that's actually the answer that we got in the last problem. So we got 4/3. Now we want to use some more information. We want to dig deeper and see how can we get from 4 to 16 so that we can fill in this blank, because whatever we multiply the first number by, we won't multiply the second number by. So we can multiply 4 by 4 to get 16. 4 times 4 is 16, so we do the same thing with 3. 3 times 4 gives us 12. All right, so Our new ratio is 16 to 12. 16 purple flowers to 12 yellow flowers. All right, our new and last vocab word is double number line. So double number lines are two connected or paired number lines that represent a ratio of different values. So we have a set of number lines here. These are not connected, sometimes they are. These are just paired up together, and we can see that they have different sets of increments. So the bottom number of boxes number line, that has an increment of 1, so it increases by 1. However, the number of donuts number line increases by 12. So this set of numbers here, that is our base ratio, okay? And everything is going to be based on that. So let's look at the bottom number line because all of those numbers are filled in, and let's see how. So looking at the bottom number line, we see that we are increasing by 1, and we can multiply the first ratio by whatever number we're trying to get to. So if we want to go from 1 to 2, we just multiply by 2. If we want to go 1 to 3, we just multiply by 3. So that's what we're going to do with the number of donuts number line that increases by 12s. We just go to the second spot on the number line, well, the third spot on the number line. We scale up to the next number on a number line of after 12 and multiply by 2. So 12 times 2 is 24. And if we do 12 times 3, we're going to get 36. And that is true. 12 times 3 is 36. And if we do 1 times 3, that's 3. So we know that that is true because those line up. And if we keep going, we can fill in this whole thing. 12 times 4 is 48. 12 times 5 is 60. 12 times 6 is 72, and so on, because I'm running out of space. So this is another way to find equivalent ratios, double number lines.